Serious, ex-vegans of Reddit, why did you stop being vegan? I am no longer vegan, but I still don't eat meat. I miss cheese. I'm allergic to too many foods. If I cut out everything I am allergic to and everything I couldn't eat because I'm vegan, I would be eating very sad itty meals for the rest of my life. I was visiting a foreign country, Japan, and staying with a family. I didn't want to be rude and not eat their cooking, and I didn't want them to have to go out of their way for my diet, so I ate meat there and that kind of ended it. I still don't eat much meat and eat a lot of vegan food, but I'm not a vegan. My entire life revolved around food. Going somewhere last minute, go to bring vegan snacks. Going out with friends for dinner, have to play the "can I eat this?" game. Every day was deciding what to eat or cook or buy. I met a meat eater. Slowly went from vegan to vegetarian to meat eater. I don't regret it. I have significantly more free time now. I was vegan for 6 years. I got drunk at a friend's wedding and took a bunch of cheese rolls underneath a table and ate them, in a secret drunken stupor, smearing cheese and butter all over my bridesmaid's dress. It was such a happy moment in my life and made me realize I had not been enjoying food for a long time. I eat everything now. TLDR, cheese. Edit were a gold star for my first proper Reddit comment. I feel fancier now. Vegetarian for 12 years. Vegan for 2.5. Went back to vegetarian last winter. There are many delicious vegan food options and I found a vegan diet generally improved my health. However, I have a busy schedule and don't always get time to prepare my own meals or the opportunity to make the call about where I eat what's on the menu. Unfortunately, while lacto-ovo vegetarianism is pretty widely accepted and recognized at this point, there are still a lot of restaurants, families and groups that do not understand a vegan needs more to eat than plain salad with dry toast. These types of situations would happen pretty regularly, leaving me hangry. So, it's just easier for everyone if I accept some random dairy or egg now and then, until the vegan revolution comes, when I'll bust out the flag and march alongside my plant-nourished comrades once more. TLDR, vegetarian in the streets, vegan in the sheets. I was vegan until I realized that all of the food waste at my job, at friends' places, etc., does not lessen by me not being willing to eat it. If my friend offers me his extra nuggets, me refusing doesn't help. It doesn't unnugget and revive the chicken. It just means perfectly good food goes in the trash because my friend was full. So now I will eat animal products. But I won't buy them. And I only eat them if they will otherwise go to waste. I also eat a bite of meat occasionally when I haven't in a while to make sure my body can still process it without making me sick. But I don't buy those. I take them off my friend's or partner's plate. I also have eating disorder tendencies. Though I don't have anything bad enough to require medical help, and restricting my diet that much was doing really bad things to my mental health. I'll also use my second-hand leather wallet, but when it's worn out I won't buy another leather one. Edit. That's not what vegan means, and I will gather all of you in a van and we will go the duck dumpster diving to prove my point if I have to. Got pregnant and craved chicken wings the entire time. Finally ate them after I had my son and haven't turned back since. As a teen I had an eating disorder which I, mostly, grew out of over the past 3-4 years. I turned vegan for the right reasons, but constantly checking food labels for ingredients, worrying about nutrition and the anxiety associated with going to restaurants made me feel like I was falling back into anorexia. I still eat consciously, but putting myself into the vegan box was too much for my mental health. My husband and I were both vegan, so we were raising our kids like that by default. We would be at birthday parties and my kids started to get to the point where they wanted the pizza and the cake, and I just wanted them to be able to be somewhat normal. Also, I saw people all around me with their kids eating very strict paleo, etc., and being obsessive with food. I worried that sort of diet or, similarly, strict veganism might also put them at risk to be orthorexic. So, again, I just wanted them to be semi-normal. We transitioned to a vegetarian diet, and in the city that we live in, there are always lots of options. 2 of my kids are old enough now to choose and they like being vegetarian and will sometimes choose vegan meals. Until past a few years, I was a vegan whole my life. Vegan story. I was a vegan because of my early family background of being highly religious and considered non-veg habits almost a sin. It was morally wrong to do so and hence it was established that way for us. I didn't rebel and was a faithful worshipper of the god. Just to be clear, I am 23 years old Indian Hindu from New Delhi. Non-vegan story. As we became older we realized all these morals and habits are coming from a person who is being hailed by my family as their god. It's commonplace here. So there was this person deciding how I am supposed to live and be accepted as it is with no doubt or question. Fast forward my higher secondary school. I failed miserably to qualify the exam I ever dreamed of. That rage drove me to dump all these BS and get on with life as I wanted to be. Since, I am happy non-vegan. In short, a wider understanding of our national and global food systems. Also, I like the logic of, if you want farm animals to be treated humanely, you should support the people that are raising them humanely, not just stop supporting anyone in the market. If you want car companies to make more environmentally friendly cars, you don't just start riding bikes until the solution magically comes up. It would be more helpful to fund the people that are trying their best to achieve that goal and help them further that agenda. So by voting with my dollar, buying animal products that meet my standards for ethical farming practices, or hunting fishing, I'm helping to tell the world that I don't support current cattle raising standards. So they will have tougher competition until they raise their standards of treatment. Shout out to the books The Conscious Carnivore, Tova Cerulli and The Righteous Pork Chop, Nicolette Honneman. Playing the Is It Vegan Friendly game was easy and enjoyable at first, but over time it became more and more of a hassle. Going out to eat food in places was the worst. If I went to a restaurant I would have to eat the dry bread and eat basic foods, salads, soups, rice. I made the mistake of joining a vegan group on Facebook and it was just filled with so much hatred to people who eat meat, frequently calling them carnies, carnivores, carnists, and monsters, while acting superior. We're morally right so we can insult anyone. I felt disgust for the vocal side of the community. Over time, it became an uphill battle to remain vegan and stick with my morals, which I was slowly becoming unsure of if my heart was truly in it. I gradually started eating animal products again, going vegetarian, before consuming meat once more. For the most part, vegan isn't difficult once you know what you can and can't eat. I imagine it's similar to having an allergy, but nowhere near as serious. Edit, added the carnists to carnivores. I'd read somewhere that you rarely if ever see fat vegetarians and I was overweight. Before I went vegetarian I was drinking about 2 gallons of milk a week, but I was mildly lactose intolerant because it made me fart a lot. After I stopped eating meat the farting went away. That was unexpected. Then I had a co-worker who was ranting about the evils of dairy products. So I gave up dairy products. I was already not eating eggs, so at that point I became vegan. I was also careful to not eat anything with added sugar and everything was low fat, no frying, etc. I went from 240 pounds to around 200. The weight loss wasn't fast but it was definitely steady. But I don't think the weight loss was from being vegan but rather a side effect of eating being so boring that I was only eating in order to not be hungry, not for any enjoyment or pleasure. And giving up candy and pastries no doubt helped. I stopped because I'd lost sufficient weight and it was boring. I definitely never felt healthier, which is one of the claims you hear a lot from vegans and vegetarians. As far as I know there's never been any valid scientific proof that eating meat in a normal diet makes you less healthy. Veganism is expensive, time consuming, cooking, and often protein deficient. This is why I am no longer vegan. Mental fog was a big deal for me. 4 years of trying to fix it had partially to do with thyroid issues, which, from what I've read, can be exacerbated by soy. I plan on going back one day. I am under 18 and, being that everyone else in my house are omnivores, I decided that being a vegan was too much pressure on everyone else. I didn't want to make them go out of their way to get vegan foods for me. Joined the Marine Corps. Was afraid boot camp would be too hard and my buddy told me about how he was made fun of for being vegetarian by the DIs, so I decided I'd go back after boot camp. Just haven't made the jump back. Plan to though. I started to get lightheaded and fatigued. I couldn't continue because I didn't have enough time to prepare nutritionally sufficient meals, being in college and all. I was too busy. I don't regret being vegan though. It helped me eat way less junk food even after I quit being vegan. I crave junk food less. I felt a lot healthier, just tired. I was a vegetarian who ate very little dairy and eggs. Honestly didn't really miss any of it except for some processed foods, which I was trying to cut out anyway. After about 8 months of not missing meat at all, my body started to crave meat and eggs so bad. Not even unhealthy meats like cheeseburgers and processed meats, but salmon, shrimp, chicken breast etc. Decided that listening to my body was the best route to go health-wise. However, still interested in becoming vegan in the future. 1. Trying to do 2500-3000 cal a day while lifting is just a pain in the ass to do vegan. It can be done, but a huge pain and a ton of prep. Easier to stay mostly whole grain and add in chicken fish. I've seen guys like John Venus do some amazing stuff, but it's just way too much work for that amount of calories. 2. Vegans can be very annoying. If I have leather that I've had for years, that cow is dead and gone. My wearing it now, or not wearing it, won't change that. It just seemed like every possible chance to soapbox was taken. And if I didn't, I now had two sides of an argument yelling at me. Originally it was because I couldn't eat Skittles. Let me explain though. I don't even really like Skittles that much. But reading through the ingredient label on every single thing I ate, obsessively planning meals out, having the same discussion with my friends about where I can and cannot go out to eat with them over and over and over again. I got sick of it. I read through the Skittles label, saw it contained gelatin, and thought duck it. I want some damn Skittles. They were delicious. I was vegan for about 10 years, including 2 vegan pregnancies. I was diagnosed with depression, and eventually realized my controlling husband had to go. I didn't have the mental energy for it anymore. Constantly making sure my family of 4 was healthy, reading every flipping label, and we were on a fairly tight budget. I first went vegetarian. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't dropping the vegan-vegetarian thing in a reactionary way. After divorce muck settled, I started eating meat again. I find that I still don't eat a lot of meat. For me it was health reasons. It was determined that I have low-grade allergies to many fruits and vegetables that, eaten exclusively, would eventually kill me. Cutting all of them out would reduce the amount of calories I could eat to unsafe levels. The only way to fix it was to, slowly, reintroduce meat. I honestly missed meat for the whole 3 years I was vegan. I had thought that going vegan would be better for my health. It turned out not to be. I had to work closely with my dietitian to go back to eating meat, and I'm glad I did.